Welcome to Norton Park for this semi-final of the Stones Bitter Premiership competition. Widnes led out today by mascot Paul Noon of Avondale Drive. Widnes. Paul is aged 10 and attends Oakfield School, and he plays for Widnes Tigers under 10s, and his favourite players are Martin Fire and David Hume. And the Widnes team sees the welcome return at full-back of Alan Tate. Number 2 is John Devereux, 3 Darren Wright, 4 Jonathan Davis, 5 Martin Fire, 6 Barry Dowd, 7 David Hume, and at the pack 8 Kurt Sorensen, 9 Phil McKenzie, 10 Joe Grimmer, 11 Paul Hume, 12 Emoshi Coloto, and 13 Steve McCurry. Widnes substitutes: 14 is Andy Currier, 15 Harvey Howard. And for Featherstone at full-back, it's number 1 Chris Bibb, 2 Ikram Butt, 3 Terry Manning, 4 Paul Newlove, 5 Owen Simpson, 6 Ian Smales, and 7 Derek Fox. And the Featherstone pack: 8 John Bastian, 9 Trevor Clark, 10 Leo Casey, 11 Chris Burton, 12 Clary Eaty, and 13 Andy Fisher. Substitutes for Featherstone: 14 Martin Pearson, 15 Jeff Gratian. And the officials today: referee is Mr J.E. Smith of Halifax, and touch judges Mr W. Goulding and Mr W.H. Walker. So Widnes begin their bid for the 4th successive Premiership final appearance against Featherstone, who made this semi-final with a fine win against Wigan, although the Wigan team much depleted on that occasion following their unbelievable end of season. There were 4 players in that Wigan team who appeared at Wembley, however. Steve McCurry comes on the blind side, but Paul Hume takes it open. Can't pass Leo Casey. Big number 10 signed from Oldham last season. He's made a big impact at Featherstone, and Jonathan Davis puts that deep. It's a tester for Chris Bibb. It turns the full back, and the Widnes line goes up. There's a gap outside Coloto, but Bibb can't get there. Superb tackle by Barry Dowd. And people talk about stars of the future, young players like Steve McCurry and Harvey Howard, but I must say Barry Dowd, so far he's had a lot of injury problems in his career, but I think if Dowd can get an injury-free season, I think he could be one of the stars of the future for Widnes. Filled in superbly for Tony Myler, still suffering from that groin injury. And with me in the commentary box this afternoon is Reg Bowden. And Reg, Widnes will be looking for a good performance today. It's nice to see Alan Tate back at full-back.
Yeah, I think the lads who've played there before have done very well, such as Steve Wynn and Stuart Spruce. It's nice to see Alan back, and Widnes have got to win this today. If they can't beat Featherstone, they're not worthy going into any final.
Yes, so obviously the team to pick in the semi-final will be Featherstone. With the winners of this will play the winners of Leeds and Hull. In the meantime, John Devereux makes the first break. He's just got Bibb to beat. Superb sidestep, and Devereux's going for the line. He's going to score underneath the sticks. A great score from John Devereux. That came from nothing. The big winger took the ball in his own half, broke through the gap, and left Chris Bibb for dead. A great start for Widnes after just 2 minutes. And here's one for Jonathan Davis, with a great break again from John Devereux, Edge.
Yeah, good ball by Barry Dowd in the middle of the field. Devereux sidestepped, went through 2 slackly tacklers, comes to the full back, showed him to the right, come on the inside on the left, and just beat the race to the line. I mean, we were there, Martin Fire looked as though he didn't have much pace to get with him at that particular time. Seems to be carrying his leg a little bit. But an excellent try by John Devereux, and a great start to what Widnes wants.
Well, Martin Fire, of course, did suffer an injury to his leg in the quarter-final against Bradford. In fact, it was the game before that, in fact, the final league game of the season against Rochdale, when the Fire suffered that injury. And let's just hope it doesn't have any repercussions. Jonathan Davis looks for his 109th goal of the season. And that's no problem for Davis. 332 points this season. He smashed Mick Burke's record, which has stood since 1979. The ball kick straight back to Devereux. And again, Devereux goes in at full pace just short of the 22. Joe Grimmer bundled to ground. Widnes finding it difficult to break that 22. It's a good one from Steve McCurry. A suspicion of a high arm there in the tackle, and the referee in fact gives the penalty for the swinging arm. So Widnes with the tap just on the halfway line. Kurt Sorensen comes in short off Hume, looks to slip the ball out, just can't offload. But he's not going to be put down as easily as that. Kurt still struggling to make some ground. Eventually brought to ground. Coloto again. And Coloto's made the gap. He's got down the right to support. He's got Devereux. He just can't get the ball out. Coloto just caught by Paul Newlove. Now to McCurry. Throws in a dummy. Slips it. But the ball knocked back. Picked up by Barry Dowd. Mackenzie in support. Mackenzie steps out of the tackle and gives it to Tate, and Tate's found a gap. Devereux on the outside. Can't get past Owen Simpson. But this is good stuff from Widnes, and it's back to one. The ball being touched by a Featherstone player. Long pass out. And now Joe Grimmer comes on at full tilt. Short ball, a great ball, and superbly held by Jonathan Davis. What a great try. The long ball out from Imosi Coloto. Joe Grimmer then took the short ball coming on at full burst, slipped the short ball to Jonathan Davis, and Davis juggled with it but held on. This is a great start for Widnes.
Yeah, they're looking at different streets at the moment. They're running onto the ball very well indeed. They've not had time to tackle Featherstone. Featherstone might even have the ball. But tremendous break by Imosi Coloto. A long ball picked up by Steve McCurry. And Joe Grimmer come onto the ball really well then, hit the line and just dropped it onto Jonathan Davis. Jonathan Davis, nobody can beat him from 15 yards out. An excellent try by Widnes, and what a tremendous start.
So Jonathan Davis with a more difficult kick from the far touch line. Just curled away in the wind. So 10 points to 0 for Widnes, but just the start they'll be looking for. Always seem to do well against Featherstone here at Norton Park. Joe Grimmer being pushed back by Derek Fox and Andy Fisher. Coloto comes in behind Barry Dowd. But again, although it's the early stages at times, Featherstone's tackling looks good, and then Widnes just finding the gaps on one or two occasions, capitalising on both times. David Hume throws off one man. The penalty to Widnes for the infringement in the tackle. This time it's 10 metres inside the half. Coloto's coming out in the middle of the field. He takes the ball, a run around with Dowd. No one on Dowd's shoulder, but Grimmer comes in. Stands up in the tackle. A bit of argy-bargy, but Mr. Smith allows play to go on. Ian Smales hitting Grimmer there. And then, well, a silly penalty given away by Chris Burton, and that's two penalties by the same player for talking. And Widnes with a chance, but the ball just too far in front of David Hume, as Hume was looking for the gap. So an escape for Featherstone. And this time, Widnes penalised. Offside at the play of the ball. after a somewhat disappointing spell with the Challenge Cup and the League Championship titles fading. Widnes came back with a vengeance against Bradford last week, and the mood seems to be similar today. Players approaching the game in a confident way, but a good break there from John Bastian. Fox out to Smales. Smales looks for the gap. Kurt Sorensen covered there. As Phil McKenzie was half caught. E.T. Ball out again to Fox. This time, well, a long ball, but not the best of passes to Owen Simpson. And it's the final tackle for Featherstone. Terry Manning comes from the blind and then slips the ball back inside to Newlove. The Widnes cover wraps up the Featherstone player. It's the handover. Paddy Dowden again, Colosso comes off guard. Again, it's a high tackle from Burton. Well, he's just given away 2 penalties for talking and now one for the high tackle. Mr. Smith, I think we'll have a word with him at some time in the match. Jonathan Davis again puts Widnes down onto the half, 10 metres short of the halfway line. Paddy Dowd. Great ball out from Dowd. A superb run from Alan Tate. He's got Martin Afire into post, and Martin Afire's going for the line. But he's just bundled into touch by Chris Bibb. Martin Afire looking to edge ahead in the try-scoring stakes. Equal at the moment with Greg Austin, who scored for Halifax today, both on 46. But Chris Bibb's cover tackle. But I wonder if a fully fit Martin Afire might have scored that one, Reg. Yeah,
I think so. We just looked on the first try when Devereux scored, and I said he seems to be carrying his leg a little bit. Tremendous ball by Barry Down and well run on by Alan Tate, which we've missed a little bit, is the linking up by Alan Tate. And I would say like 6 weeks ago, Martin Afire would have been right under the post then.
Nevertheless, credit due to Chris Bibb for cutting down the gap for the Fire. And well, another scuffle. Alan Tate almost pinched the ball in that tackle, but penalised by Mr. Smith. Well, for holding down, it's difficult to understand that, but penalty to Featherstone. Well, crowd on the far side shout for the forward pass. It was very close from the penalty tap as Leo Casey came in short. Burton manages to get the ball out. Edge Bowden just commenting to me about Emosi Coloto's tackling. He certainly seems to be fired up for this game. And a good kick puts Widnes back towards the 22. It's a scrum down. It's yours. David Hume pounces on that, but Mr. Smith not happy with the scrum.
Get a grip on the head, tackle, never mind, it's scrum.
And now he pulls the scrum in from the touchline. In fact, he's speaking to the two props about the way they're packing down. This time the ball comes out the back of the scrum. Down and right. Alan Tate was looking to link up with Wright there, but Wright deciding to hang on to it. Steve McCurry, a great surging run from McCurry, but he can't make any ground past the tackle. Paul Hume's on the blind. Now the ball to move out back to the open side. Sorensen comes in at an angle, slips the ball out. Great ball from Sorensen. David Hume gets it out, and Alan Tate, and now Martin Afire's going for the line. And Martin Afire Well, he still looks to be carrying that leg, but this time there's no mistake. As Paul Newlove attempted to chase Martin the Fire made the ground, he limps to his feet. But a great break coming there from Widnes, setting up that try for Martin the Fire.
Yeah, top move in the middle of the field. Barry Dowd involved again. I think since Barry's come back into the side, he's added a lot of football into the side. He dropped the ball inside to Kurt Sorensen. Sorensen broke the tackle, turned it on to David Hume. David Hume again onto Alan Tate, and there was Martin of Fire coming in the middle of the field. And even on 1.5 legs, he's still fast enough to get under the post, which puts him in the top try-scoring bracket again, and he'll be pleased about that. I think he's won his last 3 years on the run. I don't really believe that he wants to let go of it this year. And an excellent move by Widnes. All he leaves now is Jonathan Davis, but quite an easy kick right between the posts. And Featherstone looking the side, which they are, which is from 8 from the top of the table. Widnes really going well at the moment.
So Widnes 16 points to 0 up with just about 17 minutes left to play in this first half. And a good start for Widnes. I think Barry Dowd added a new dimension to Widnes' game that was missing when Tony Myler first became injured. But Dowd now obviously back to full match fitness. Good run from Terry Manning, takes the ball onto the Featherstone 22. That's another good break, and the ball slipped out. Well, it was a bit of a needless pass. There wasn't much chance of Clarieti making a good pass there. Simpson goes to the blind and makes a couple of yards. Just catches Widnes napping there for the minute. Fox, great ball as Andy Fisher made the break. Burton, with a good tackle, cover tackle from Phil McKenzie was crucial. Featherstone still going to the right. It's a good kick from Fox. Should find touch. And it does inside 10 metres from the Widnes line. But Featherstone coming a little bit more back into the game, Reg, after the bad start for them.
Yeah, I think Featherstone are exploiting Widnes' tackling, because the reason is Widnes have not tackled for a long while, and the tackling's a little bit suspect at the moment. They were looking to score the try, really, because I think somebody pulled Alan Tate back as he was going up for the ball then, one of the Featherstone players. But Widnes have got the ball out of the scrum, pushing on to Barry Dowd. Alan Tate links up well, and Widnes with the ball in hands look a very capable outfit. I think they've just got to buckle the tackling up a little bit and get into Featherstone. Featherstone in an unfamiliar red and white. Looks more like Wigan out there in the colours rather than Featherstone Rovers. But it's Joe Grimmer driving the ball in hard, getting past the 22. Phil McKenzie acting half-back, pushing on to David Hume. David Hume looking for Coloto. Coloto beating one man, looking to get round with his pass, just couldn't get the referee touched, just seen something. I think Coloto and this number 8 are having a little bit of a barney together with themselves, Gary. There's a few fists been flying in a couple of the tackles. I don't think we'll see the last of it. I think either one or the other will be sent off before the end of this game.
Well, let's hope it's not Coloto, because if Widnes do get to the final, that would be a sad loss for the Chemics. That penalty, I think, was for pulling back as Coloto went to slip the ball out. The player in support was pulled back. But certainly Imosi Coloto is definitely fired up for this match. And John Bastian has got his hands full if he's going to take on Coloto. But that penalty gives Widnes a chance to stage another spell of attack. Barry Dowd really has been the hub of everything that Widnes have done so far. Almost a good ball. I think the referee gives a knock on there as Tate pulled it off. I think it was Newlove that went behind. Tate pulled it off his back. Joe Grimmer just attempting to do something of a Tony Myler and slip out a one-handed flick pass, but it just didn't quite come off. So Featherstone with possession. Chris Bibb joins in the line. The ball comes back to Smales. Ian Smales scored a 40-yarder against Widnes, and seems to remember earlier this season at Norton Park. Clarieti loses the ball. Mackenzie slips it out nicely to David Hume. Darren Wright in support. Not really a gap there for Darren Wright to go into. He was flattened as he took that ball. Dowd. Again, it's Joe Grimmer coming in. Has to stop and change direction. Third tackle with Mackenzie. Currier. First receiver. Dummies once, dummies twice, and goes for the outside. A great break from Steve McCurry, but he just loses the ball in the tackle. And the play allowed to go on. It's picked up by a Featherstone player. Superb break from Steve McCurry as he took the ball to the outside and found the gap, but just caught his hand in the tackle. Featherstone lined out to this open side, but not the best of passes. It bounces up nicely though, and Newlove, well, that was a forward pass certainly. Simpson, but Simpson throws the ball away as John Devereux comes across. Scrum with Widnes to feed. Inside ball, not the best of balls though from Darren Wright, and it goes loose, it bounces away. Davis picks it up and play goes on, and Davis, well, I think Jonathan Davis checks himself there because the only gap was out towards the touchline. Perhaps could have gone for it and taken a chance, but decided to avoid going in touch, and now Darren Wright with a strong burst. Coloto comes short. David Hume slips it up, a great ball to Paul Hume. Hume out against Rimosi Coloto, and Widnes playing some good football here. David Hume, but again his hand just caught as he slipped it out, but it goes back, says Mr. Smith. Picked up by a fire. Down, the long ball's on. Well, not the best of passes, but it comes off Simpson. Back to one, Alan Tate. Tate's got Devereux back in support. Devereux knocks on. He was tackled, in fact, he would have been tackled had he taken the ball. But a great spell of passing from Widnes. John Devereux took a knock in that. In fact, it's Darren Wright who's down on the ground, but a good attacking spell from Widnes, Reg.
Yeah, they're playing some good football. I just think we've got to get into the tackling a little bit more, put Featherstone a bit more under pressure with the ball in their hands. They seem to be able to go 60 yards down the field, which really we shouldn't allow, because the more we allow them to get into the game, the harder the game becomes. But some excellent football by Widnes, and some good advantage play by Jim Smith, the referee, who's not a firm favourite with myself or with the Widnes people. But he's had an excellent Wembley last week, and he's now taking charge of this, and he's doing an excellent job at the moment. But Featherstone are trying to turn the ball back inside. That's all they've got, is the big forwards coming on the inside. They've hardly got any pace on the outside. And Widnes, once they start exploiting this pace on the far outside, I'm sure we'll see a lot more tries going in. But at the moment, it's Featherstone with the ball. They're coming up to the sixth tackle. The man is putting to Fox to put this ball downfield. Mackenzie's at him quickly, but it's a good kick by Derek Fox. Straight to the arms of Alan Tate, who picks the ball up on his 22. Goes outside Smales, cut straight inside, and he's taken just short of the halfway line. With McCurry acting half-back, picking up Dowd again, have an excellent game. Sidesteps one, turns the ball inside to Sorensen. Bit of a murder ball on Sorensen. But it's still Widnes on the second tackle. McCurry straightening the job up, going straight through, looking for the gap. Just can't release the ball. Good tackling by Burton. So it's Davis looking for Joe Grimmer. Joe Grimmer trying to get into it and shoulders one out the way. Still going. But it's good tackling by Featherstone. Mackenzie acting half-back. Looking for Coloto. He's going across. Turns the ball inside to Coloto. Coloto stood still to Devereux. He's got to go inside, and he has done. Gets past Smales. Nice ball onto Tate. Tate flicking up well. He's gone as Tate. It's an excellent run inside. Picked up beautifully by Sorensen. And got the ball out to Hume. David Hume. But good tackling by Featherstone. Well, this is good, but a good football by Widnes. Paul Hume to Barry Dowd. Barry Dowd putting the ball up. Putting Gibb under pressure. Mackenzie's up for it. The ball's gone loose. It's got to be picked up by Darren Wright. And it's the 6th tackle. So Featherstone with the ball, 10 yards from their own line. Taking it away. Making good 10 yards. Clark acting half-back. Looking for Fox. Fox coming out here for Newlove. But good tackling by Widnes. David Hume channeling everything from the back. Featherstone gone back 3 yards in that attack. Good tackling by Kurt Sorensen and Joe Grimmer, the 2 New Zealand lads. So it's Clark again, putting on to Fox. Fox sidesteps one, he's met by Sorensen. It's a big hit by Kurt Sorensen. Clark again, they were looking to put this ball downfield. It's the 6th tackle. Featherstone under all sorts of pressure. Derek Fox with the kick. And he launches one downfield. Look, waiting for his Devereux. Devereux takes the ball on a second chance. Picks it up on a 22, comes inside. Just takes the tackle. Darren Wright onto David Hume. David Hume picking up Alan Tate again. Hungry for work is Tate. He's missed at least 4 matches. And he's looking as though he wants to get back into the game as quickly as possible. Mackenzie for acting half-back. Nearly a trip there. Mackenzie not happy. Paul Hume on the left. Widnes going in ones at the moment. They've got to use this ball. Exploit Featherstone on the outside. Mackenzie to Dowd. To McCurry. Coloto come round as McCurry. He's gone again, McCurry. Sidesteps one, comes inside. Good ball's gone loose. Good tackle. Well picked up by Featherstone. So it's Featherstone taking the ball over. Featherstone are trying to get back into this game, Gary, as quickly as possible. They're trying to tackle everything in sight. They're trying to put Widnes under a bit of pressure. It's the only way they can get into the game, I think.
Yes, they've certainly seemed to have stepped the game up since the opening minutes, when Widnes at one stage looks as if they might run away with things, but the ball's lost there. But Featherstone throwing in some big hits. There's at least 3 men going into every tackle and putting Widnes under pressure, but another silly penalty given away. 2 players offside on that occasion. But there's Widnes mounting some superb attacks at times. It looks as if they're almost practicing for the touch football competition that comes up on the 19th of May for David Hume's testimonial. And I'm sure we'll see some quick handling in that. But if this is anything to go by, Widnes should have a good chance in that, because they've been throwing the ball around here like a hot potato. Hume out, and again Barry Dowd juggles with it. Dowd just fumbled the ball to himself and almost caught it. Grimmer couldn't hang on to it, so again possession turned over to Featherstone. And perhaps it's a time for Widnes to settle down when they do get possession. Just 8 minutes to go before half-time. And if Featherstone were to score before half-time, it would certainly make a fast and furious second half. So the ball moved back this way to Manning. Looks to slip it out, but he eventually steps out of the tackle, throws the ball over somebody's head, but Devereux's kicked that one on, and play allowed to go on. Forward pass though. Well, an escape for Widnes, but I thought Mr. Smith might have given the forward pass for the original ball, which was thrown over the Widnes player's head, because no advantage came to Widnes, but fortunately anyway, the scrum down with David Hume to feed. And substitution being made. Joe Grimmer is coming off for Widnes, and Harvey Howard, who had a superb game against Bradford, comes on into his newfound position as a prop forward. He seems to relish every minute of it. I'm not sure if he was originally signed as a winger, but he did play for the A team and a couple of games for the first team as a winger. He's certainly big enough to play in the forwards. Barry Dowd makes a break and slips the ball to Devereux. But Devereux steps inside, brought down, and this time Mr. Smith right on the spot. And it's John Bastian again, the player throwing the punch in. And Devereux looks to be in a bad way down there. Holds his head on the floor. And I think an example, Edge, of what you were saying, Mr. Smith's going to have to stamp that sort of thing out and get a grip on the game.
Yeah, look at this this Bastian. He's gone in hard with everything he's doing. He's running hard and he's hitting people hard. And at times he's overstepping the mark. And him and Cloto were having a real good go early on, and it looked as though one of them's not going to continue playing for the full 80 minutes. I also don't maybe Bastian the way things are going. Nice to see Harvey Howard on the field, a big strong lad as Harvey. As you said, he's played on the wing, he's now playing prop, he's played centre, and he never let Widnes down. He's a top player, and I think he's going to take Widnes by storm in the next couple of years. But Widnes at the moment starting to press with McCurry going from back to half back. McCurry's not looking so good since he had a bang down here. I think he's still got a little bit of concussion. It's Howard, turns the ball back to McKenzie, to Barry Dowd, who's having an excellent game. McColoto, dummies, he should have given it then. Barry Dowd again, dummies, back inside to John Devereux. He's outstanding, Devereux, and he's going for the line. What a tremendous try by John Devereux. He's growing in stature every week as this man as a winger or a centre. But an excellent ball by Barry Dowd again, and I keep mentioning the man. Dropped inside, but he still had 4 people to beat. Goes through 2, comes to the fullback, leaves the fullback standing, streaks to the line, and another excellent try by John Devereux. I think John Devereux is proving that when he came in, he was second string to Martin Offiah on the wing, but he's looking as though he can compete with Martin on all occasions.
Certainly one of the top-class wingers. Must be in the running for the test spot for the 1992 tour on this form. Jonathan Davis there slots that one over. 22 points to 6 now for Widnes. Just cover tackled by, I think, Leo Casey made that tackle. Harvey Howard comes in. Again, 3 Featherstone players in the tackle. Widnes now look to move the ball to the left. In fact, it could be a kick. Well, Paul Hume drives the ball in. Coloto again running well this afternoon. This time caught by the ankles. And now the kick comes in from Davis. Bounces up, bounces nicely for Owen Simpson. But he's covered by Darren Wright, and he didn't really make too much of an effort to beat that tackle. Good cover from Wright and Devereux. Chris Bibb takes the ball in and makes some ground for Featherstone. And now the forwards back behind the ball. Fox. Smales slips the ball inside to Newlove, and Newlove breaks the tackle of David Hume, and Newlove's going down the wing. He looks for support, and he's scored. He's scored in the corner. John Devereux took the dummy and went inside to cover as Alan Tate came across. Tate seemed to have Newlove covered, but he just attempted to knock the centre into touch rather than to make the tackle. Newlove just stepped an inch short of the line, kept his balance and went over in the corner. So with just 2 minutes to go, Featherstone keep themselves within distance of Widnes, but a bad one for Widnes to concede, Ledge.
Yeah, it started on the halfway line here when the Fox switched the ball back. David Hume covered and just missed a tackle. Went down the wing, and Alan Tate, instead of tackling a man and putting him straight into touch, he thought all he had to do was shove him because he was so close to the line. But with an excellent run by the centre, and how well he kept his feet, had to stay in field and score a try. I thought excellent try by Featherstone, which puts him right back in the game. So Widnes have got a lot to do to keep Featherstone at bay, because if they come back in and there's the kick and he looks as though it's between the posts, and it is an excellent kick by Derek Fox, which puts the score 22-12. So Featherstone are 10 points adrift of Widnes, and Featherstone with the tails up. I think Widnes will have to pull out all the stops. They've only got 2 minutes in this half. It's a bad time really to concede a try, and I think Featherstone will go in a lot happier than what they would have been 3 minutes ago. So it's Widnes to restart. Jonathan Davis. And Featherstone have looked as though they've not been in this game all the way through. They've had 2 tries, one from a kick, which was knocked to ground and he just picked up and scored. And one from a try which should never have been, should have been knocked into touch. But it's Featherstone taking the ball in. Just short of the 22. Looks like Harvey Howard's down. And here comes Bastian again, running hard as usual. Looks like Harvey Howard's got a bit of concussion there, doesn't where he is. So it's Leo Casey throwing the ball round. It's gone back. Picked up by Bibb. Clark knocks two out the way. What a good run by Nisuke. So it's Featherstone with the tails up, making it to the halfway line. Fox looking out for Casey. Casey just gets inside of one. The ball's gone to ground. It's back to one, says the referee. Fox again. Featherstone trying to move everything into the Widnes half. So it's Clark acting half-back, going by himself. Turns the ball inside again to Bastian, this big, strong running prop. Made a good 15, 20 yards then. Taken well by Kurt Sorensen and David Hume. Clark pushing the ball across to Smales. The ball's gone loose. Picked up by Martin Afire. Cuts inside, but he's tackled well by his opposition on the far side of the ground. So it's Widnes with a lot to do just before the start. The end of this first half. David Hume taken away wisely. Good running by David Hume. Excellent running by the scrum half. Relieved an awful lot of pressure there. So it's McKenzie looking for McCurry. McCurry straightening it up. So it's on the forward tackle with Sorensen. Looking to go left, picking up Barry Dowd. Barry Dowd with a chip over. There's a gap there if he's got the legs. And he's still got it. He's picked it up inside. Inside to McKenzie, to Afire, he's got to score, Afire's going to score! Excellent try by Martin Afire, made again by that man Barry Dowd, who's had an absolutely outstanding game with the ball in his hands. A little chip through, a bad mistake by Derek Fox, the ball bounced back to him, turned it back inside to McKenzie. McKenzie then put it onto Afire, left Bibb for dead, and there's a fire under the post to give Widnes a comfortable lead going into the second half. Excellent try that, Gary, and just what Widnes needed this particular time.
Yes, definitely relieve some pressure going in at half-time. Superb chip over by Barry Dowd, and he really has had a superb half. This time McKenzie was in support and McKenzie slipped it out to Afire. Fully fit or not, Martin Afire doesn't miss chances like that. 26-12, Jonathan Davis with the kick under the sticks yet again, and the hooter should go any minute now. Jonathan Davis kicks that one over just about half-time, and there it is, the half-time hooter. So Widnes going 28 points to 12 up, with some breathing space for the Chemics. Superb start to the first half. 2 tries from John Devereux, 1 from Davis, 2 from Martin Afire, with additional goal kicks from Jonathan Davis. 2 tries for Newlove and 2 goals for Fox for Featherstone. The half-time score then in this Premiership semi-final: Widnes 28, Featherstone Rovers 12. So the teams come out for the second half, and Andy Currier is on the pitch. It looks like it's Jonathan Davis who's gone off, because Currier kicks for the restart, which is usually Davis's task. For Featherstone, I can't see any changes. So it's a straight swap. Currier into the centre for Davis. It's Burton. Featherstone with a lot to do to make up this ground. Widnes looking to emulate the first half performance and notch up a few more spectacular tries. The ball juggled there and eventually put back to Fox. And the kick to come in, the final tackle. Martin Afire takes that one fairly comfortably. He goes across field. Tate comes on to a straight line. A good run from Alan Tate. Steps inside. Sorensen comes short, knocks off the first tackle. David Hume, now Harvey Howard comes in. Seems to have gotten over that knock he took late in the first half. Dowd dummies, good inside ball to Coloto. Coloto knocks off 2, still going, can't get the ball out, it does slip out, it goes to the ground. Harvey Howard picks up and pushes Widnes forward. Mackenzie again, Coloto comes blind. Again he steps out the first and the second, the good handoff from Coloto. Great ball out to Paul Hume. Hume was coming at the angle, had to go back into the cover. But a good start to this half from Imosi Coloto. Mackenzie looks for the long ball, there it is to Sorensen, there's a gap, and Courier slimps the ball out. John Devereux, who's going in for his hat-trick, no problem for that one, a great try for Widnes. That long ball out was the one that did it, picked up by Andy Courier and just slipped out to John Devereux. It wasn't a formality by any means, but the strength of John Devereux is unstoppable from there. That's a hat-trick for Devereux and a good start to the second half for Widnes. 32-12 now, and really it looks now as if Widnes can start booking the places at Old Trafford for the end of season spectacular. So a difficult touchline kick for Andy Courier. It's got the height, not quite on target. So 32-12 to Widnes. And Devereux takes the ball in. Measured performance so far from Widnes, both in attack and defence, and Kurt Sorensen playing like a man possessed. Knocked off 4 Featherstone players then, and the penalty goes to Widnes. I'm sure that won't bother Kurt too much. Chance for Alan Tate to gain ground. David Hume with Harvey Howard coming on the burst. A good run from Howard. Chris Burton flew in, but Howard spun out of that one and he spins out of 3 tackles and he's still going. Can't make any more ground. While the crowd on the far side saw something there. It could have been the knees from Andy Fisher. Howard gets to his feet. Barry Dowd does a double dummy and finds himself in acres of space. Caught himself by surprise, I think, there, Dowd. Mackenzie goes to the blind. Again, the dummy. Widnes now look to organise, and then Dowd comes in with the kick. It's a long one, but it won't find touch. It bounces, and it does. Chris Bibb lets that one go into touch. Just out from the Featherstone line. I think Bibb hoping it would go in touching goal. Well, the penalty goes to Featherstone for foot up. Derek Fox went down to put the ball in, changed his mind. Phil Mackenzie took the dummy. So Featherstone look to move the ball out. Chris Burton. Slipped ball and a wild pass from Manning there, but picked up by Smales. Good straight running from Smales, looks for support, but there was nobody there. Derek Fox was just too far behind, and Smales is injured. So play goes on. Clarieti takes it in. Leo Casey. You haven't really seen much of Casey in this match. Had a big game against the Chemics earlier on this season, but not really been prominent so far. That's a good break from Chris Bibb. Harvey Howard just caught him by the ankles to put an end to the break forward. Fox, good ball out to Manning. Case. Andy Fisher, but Fisher can't keep the move alive, and it's the final tackle for Featherstone. Fox steps away from Kurt Sorensen, puts in a low kick, it bounces, Devereux takes it. A flying tackle, and Devereux's lost the ball. He took a nasty knock there as Leo Casey came flying in, and Devereux is out for the count. The referee allows play to go on, but John Devereux is in serious trouble there. And Mr. Smith's allowing all sorts of things to go on. The touch judge came onto the pitch there and nearly tackled Owen Simpson. But Devereux still rolling about on the floor, and he's being attended to by Eddie McDonnell. But Featherstone kick the ball forward. What is the decision? It's a scrum down. But now Mr. Smith finally stops play, and I think, to be honest, that we won't see John Devereux take part in this game. He wants to go on. Well, he goes back into the line. The magic sponge working wonders there, but John Devereux didn't know then if it was Sunday or Sunsport. But he's back to his feet, he's back in the game. And Widnes in possession with David Hume. Well, the ball pulled away, a bit obvious that one, right under the nose of Mr. Smith. Featherstone spectators not happy with that decision. And again, Harvey Howard takes the ball in. He's done a lot of hard work for the forwards since coming on for Joe Grimmer just before the interval. Kurt Sorensen. Push back, and he loses the ball, and the ball slips out. A chance here now, Terry Manning, but well covered by Darren Wright. Manning still gets the ball out, and there's space on the outside, but Smales decides not to pass the ball out. Takes the ball into McCurry. Casey, short ball, it's a good ball to Fisher. Fisher's going for the line. Currier and David Hume make the tackle. But Featherstone certainly putting on some pressure in these last 10 minutes. Fox. When this defence being tested, certainly the attack's close to the line. It's a kick through, it's going to go dead. Touching goal, so it's a tap out on the 22. Widnes looking for the quick tap, but the ball bounces away from Mackenzie. And now Featherstone make a substitution anyway, so the game stops. A double substitution, in fact. Chris Burton and John Bastian leave the field. Martin Pearson and Jeff Gratian come on for Rovers. Ikram Butt being moved into the centre position as Martin Pearson comes onto the wing. Paddy Dowd kicks, but it's charged down. Well, surely the Featherstone player was offside. Mr. Smith took a while to think about it, but I'm sure that was the correct decision. Leo Casey must have been offside when that ball came off the charge down. Well, the Featherstone players shout cheat, but must admit I'm not a big fan of Jim Smith, but I'm sure if you watch that on the video, Leo Casey was a yard or so offside. So Widnes again in possession. Kurt Sorensen comes to the blind, the dummy. Hume inside, drops it off to McCully. A good run from McCully. That's a great move from Widnes. And Steve McCully's going for the line. Has he got the pace? What a superb try from the young loose forward. A well-worked move for Widnes. That's one I've not seen before from the Chemics, I must admit. And it certainly paid dividends. Kurt Sorensen coming to the blind side, takes the dummy off Mackenzie, and then in comes David Hume, runs across, just dropped off a lovely ball to Steve McCully, who came onto that one at full tilt. And McCully still had a lot to do, but he just knocked off the cover tackle and went for the line. A great try for Widnes, 36-12. This time it just pulls to the left of the posts. Paul Hume decides to drive that one in himself. Thought about passing it out to Coloto, but safety first. And now Coloto comes in, a surging burst from Coloto. Having a superb game, back on top form at the moment. Mackenzie takes it himself from the half-back. Dummies. Kurt Sorensen was coming in for that, but there was the gap closed before Sorensen got there. And now the ball back to Alan Tate. Tate kicks for the corner. Pushes bib back. I think that might go dead. It does. So Featherstone with the tap on the 22. Pearson with his first touch of the ball. Can't make any impact. But that's a great break from Terry Manning from the half-back position. Caught Widnes out there for the second. Fox. Jeff Gratian. Sturdy old warhorse, Jeff Gratian. Described by the Edgeboard, and I seem to remember this having a deceptive pace. He's a lot slower than he looks. Well, the penalty given there against Widnes for the high tackle, I think, is the decision. Such judge comes on. Kurt Sorensen being spoken to by Mr. Smith, a brief word. So a tap to Featherstone. Casey drives in. David Hume makes a good tackle. Fox to Gratian. Gratian dummies the inside ball. There's 5 Widnes players in there making the tackle. Mr. Smith gets in to calm things down. Fox again. Long ball out. Well taken by Martin Pearson. That was a difficult ball from Smales. The ball driven in towards the line. George Manning behind the half-back position. He goes himself, turns in the tackle, can't break the line. A great tackle from Paul Hume, pushes him back, and it's the final tackle. Fox could put a short kick in here, but he does the run around and then the kick, and well, offside surely. Yes, offside. Well, Paul Newlove looks at Mr. Smith, but I can't see how he can argue with that. He was in the centre forward position definitely when that ball was kicked in. And Collier decides to kick, but Kurt Sorensen decides otherwise. A good ploy by Widnes. Sorensen makes some ground, and a touch judge comes on and spots an infringement in that tackle. Use of the elbow against Kurt Sorensen, so another penalty for Widnes. A nice move between Sorensen and Collier for that dummy kick. And now Widnes pushing towards the Featherstone line, the Featherstone half. Again, it's Harvey Howard doing the donkey work. Coloto comes in for his share now. Kenzie back to Dowd, and Dowd to kick again. It's a lofty kick, it bounces over. Well, I wonder why, but didn't. In fact, it's Owen Simpson on that wing. I wonder why Simpson didn't make any efforts. A couple of steps back, and he could have taken that one fairly easily. Still the feed to Featherstone. Box out to Newlove. That's Butt in off the wing. Well, a bad drop there. Well, play allowed to go on. Mr. Smith says to Andy Collier, I was just waiting to see what the advantage was. No advantage, so the first knock on. Correct decision. I just wondered why he waited so long to make it. Just getting the crowd a little bit excited. David Hume takes the ball out. Dowd, a good run from Collier. Collier comes onto the short ball and he's going to score. Great strike from Andy Collier, makes it look so easy. Superb move from Widnes. It's as simple as that really when you play the basics and you do it well. The ball coming out from David Hume at the scrum to Barry Dowd, and just a nice little short ball off Dowd as Collier came in. Superb timing on the straight ball. Went for the line, a great score for Widnes. 14 points to 12 now. And the message to Jimmy Griffiths, you can book that minibus now, Jimmy. So Collier with a slightly better kicking position than his last two attempts. Jonathan Davis seems to get them all under the posts in the first half. Collier puts that one over, 42-12 now. And at least the Widnes fans will be making that annual pilgrimage to Old Trafford for what has really turned into a day which rivals the Challenge Cup final in terms of excitement and atmosphere. So Fox again kicks off to David Hume. Well, it's not as if Featherstone haven't had the chances, but the Widnes defence again, as we've seen on many occasions this year, has held firm for most of the time. And then it's just that Widnes capacity for the scoring from a break when there was nothing on. A penalty and a good decision, because that was straight in with the elbow there on David Hume. And George Manning pleads his innocence. But it's that type of thing which put Alan Tate out of the game for so long. This one obviously down on David Hume's back. In the small of the back.
He forgot his chance there, Larson. Get someone off, Smithy! We were getting played last night. Bloody funny, yeah.
So the penalty to Widnes. David Hume back to his feet, although no doubt he'll feel that one in the morning when he wakes up. Andy Courier puts it into touch. Now Widnes again mounts an attack. Not the best of balls from Coloto. Barry Dowd throws that one out. And Manning's going for the line. Manning's going for the corner. He's going to beat Darren Wright to the corner. Well, that's coming from a bad pass from Emoshi Coloto, which put Barry Dowd under pressure, forcing Barry Dowd to make an equally bad pass. The ball picked up by George Manning, and an impossible task for Darren Wright to chase him. It's 42-16 and some consolation for Featherstone, but really I think it's academic now, midway through the second half. But a bad one to concede for Widnes. So Derek Fox with one of the worst kicks since his predecessor Don Fox missed that one at Wembley. Sliced it badly to the right. David Hume was receiving some more treatment on the lower part of his back there when that kick went over. Still fit to go on. So 42-16, that try should be of little consequence, hopefully, but Widnes won't be happy at conceding such a sloppy one. Great tackle from Harvey Howard, gets down well for the big man. So Featherstone attempting to push forward again, but finding it very difficult against this well-organised Widnes defence. Jeff Grayson, Fox, dummies out to Smale, and that's a good break. In fact, a crucial tackle by Paul Hume. Fox kicks it away from Tate, it's going towards the corner, but it bounces up nicely for Tate. Tate had to go towards touch, but he stepped out of the tackle well. Martin Afire in support. Darren Wright, tackled well by Jeff Grayson. Harvey Howard steps away from the first and again spins in the tackle. Paul Hume in again. Caught with a bad shoulder tackle from Leo Casey. Martin Pearson now in the full-back position. Manning slips the ball back, well picked up by Newlove. And Newlove finds a gap. That's a good run from Paul Newlove. With a great tackle from John Devereux. He slips the ball out well though to Fisher. Superb break by the test centre Paul Newlove. Youngest player ever to play for Great Britain in an international, but the oldest player on the pitch, Jeff Grayson, brings the move to an end. And Alan Tate's going to come to the blind side, but George Manning didn't go across when Darren Wright went across. But Martin Afire sells the dummy, makes some ground. Widnes looking to put on the move there, which has brought a couple of tries this season. Well, Mr. Smith blew his whistle then for some unknown reason, and then allowed play to go on. David Hume, a great ball to Hume. Courier kicks for Devereux to chase. Devereux's chasing it, against Simpson. It's going to go dead though. Worth a try from Andy Currier. Put the ball back with possession for Featherstone. Long ball out from Casey. Casey again keeps the ball alive, well taken by Grayson. And again he slips that out, somehow manages to get the ball out between Sorensen and Harvey Howard. Not the best of passes though, and Butts can't take it on the wing either. Bad ball out, that one from Trevor Clark. Possession back to Widnes Barry Dowd. Inside again, Currier comes in. Martin Fire, taken by Newlove. Well, Newlove's arm was down the Fire's neck, but I don't think any damage done in the tackle. That's a good ball out to Devlow. Devlow steps inside, looks for support. Well, Mackenzie was caught as the acting halfback came round. Not held off by the Widnes player. Suspicion, perhaps a case for offside, but it's a 50-50. Widnes lose possession anyway. Manning throws out the ball and it bounces up nicely for Fox. Newlove hangs onto it. Sorensen, but Newlove throws a wild pass out. In fact, it was Andy Fisher, and a penalty to Featherstone. Pulling back signals Mr. Smith. That's not the best of kicks, and it doesn't find touch. Martin Fire takes that one, steps inside, steps in again and again. It's a bad mistake from Featherstone. Sorensen balances the ball precariously before hanging on, and David Hume steps inside. Good run from Hume, slips it out to Mackenzie. Knock on surely, and well, Leo Casey caught David Hume off the ball there. Paul Hume steps in to have a word with Casey. But really the touch judges and Mr. Smith are going to have to get a grip on this game before things get out of hand. There's no love lost between these two sides. Mr. Smith has got to be a bit more decisive in his decisions. Well, the penalty has gone to Featherstone. Paul Hume's the player that's been penalised, but really the touch judge and Mr. Smith must ask themselves if they missed something there, because David Hume was on the floor and Widnes within possession. And really things are going to get out of hand. Well, that's a stupid decision there from Mr. Smith, because if the player wasn't marked and he played it to himself, then David Hume was in an offside position, and if the player was marked by Hume, then how could he be allowed to play it to himself? And really, referees have got to look at these type of things. Mr. Smith has got to sort out what he's doing, because at the moment the game is in danger of degenerating. It's getting a bit scrappy. That's a great break from Fisher. He saw the dummy and he sells the dummy again to Alan Tate. A good try from the Featherstone loose forward. But the slack marking, the slack play from Widnes at the play of the ball. The initial dummy coming at the play of the ball. Fisher went forward. Alan Tate really was in no hope at all because it was 3-1. And if he'd gone for Fisher, well, one of the support players would have scored anyway. So another bad try conceded by Widnes. 42 points to 20 now with 10 minutes left. So Derek Fox with a simple kick, and he puts that one over, no problem. 42 points to 22 now. Pearson, ball to Manning. Manning looks to keep the ball alive, and he does to Pearson. Pearson comes to the wing, dummies to Butt.
Today's ICI Man of the Match award goes to number 2, John Devereux.
Fox keeps that one alive well, and it's another good break from Featherstone. A great tackle by Paul Hume, and the ball should have gone out because Trevor Clark was in support there. George Manning. The tannoy just announcing that today's ICI Man of the Match award goes to the Widnes number 2, John Devereux. Must have surely been a close thing between one or two Widnes players. Barry Dowds had a great game. Coloto has made some telling breaks and some good tackles. The ball picked up by Pearson. Well, why did he kick that? That surely was back to one because Coloto had just kicked the ball through. Pearson loses possession for Featherstone on the first tackle. Into the final 5 minutes or so of this match. Widnes booking a place once again in the Premiership final against either Leeds or Hull. And what a good game in prospect there at Old Trafford, alongside the second division Premiership final between Halifax and the winners of the match between Salford and Workington.
This afternoon's ICT Top Tackle Award goes to number 11, Paul Hume.
Today's ICT Top Tackle Award goes to Widnes number 11, Paul Hume. And to be frank, I think Paul deserves that. Even though he always calls me Harry. Sorensen, good burst again from the veteran prop forward for Widnes. And there he is again. This time Darren Wright stands up, makes the move on. Well, the ball goes anywhere. Well, play on, says Mr. Smith. Play stopped. There's a Featherstone player injured. So Martin Pearson leaves the field for Featherstone. Mr. Smith just waits for him to get over towards the far touchline. And now play resumes. Fox fumbles, keeps possession. Well, that's an awful pass from Clarieti. Fortunately picked up. Great tackle by John Devereux. Leo Casey managed to hang on to it first time, but he threw it away the second time. Kurt Sorensen goes across the field. Alan Tate's coming on a great run. It bounces over his shoulder. Martin Fire kicks on, but the knock-on given. Certainly a difference in Widnes' attacking play when Alan Tate comes onto that straight line. No disrespect to Steve Wynn and Stuart Spruce, because both players have their own individual qualities and have filled in superbly in Tate's absence. But that's one thing that Tate has mastered to a T. Just coming onto that straight ball with virtual perfect timing on most occasions. Good tackling from Andy Currier, 2 consecutive firm tackles. Fox, inside ball to Casey. Great tackle from Harvey Howard, but that's good running from Trevor Clark. Good inside ball from Bibb, and Ian Smales is going forward, going for the line. He's still in support. A good try from Featherstone. Good combination by Ian Smales and Trevor Clark. It came from the break from Chris Bibb, slipped the ball inside to Smales. The cover came across and Smales slipped the ball out to Clark. A good combination as Smales came down the back. So it's 42 points to 26 now, but this revitalised surge from Featherstone coming far too late inside the final minute now of the game. Fox puts that one and it just sneaks over the bar. Great kick from Derek Fox. But there is the full-time hooter. Widnes have made the Stone Spitter Premiership final once again and will take on either Leeds or Hull. Superb victory here, 28 points to 12 at half-time, with tries from Devereux, 2 from John Devereux, 1 from Davis and 2 from Martin Afire. Goals from Jonathan Davis, 2 New Love tries and 2 goals from Fox in reply for Featherstone. Widnes forged ahead further in the second half with a third try from John Devereux, 1 from McCurry, 1 from Andy Currier, and a goal added by Currier. And then tries from Manning, Fisher and Smales for Featherstone rounded off the scoring with 2 goals from Derek Fox. So the final score at Norton Park, Widnes 42 points, Featherstone Rovers 28 points, and Widnes once again will make that final game of the season in the spectacular finish at Old Trafford.